say so far, it's probably winning Cadet Worlds 2017. Being able to represent the USA it's a great feeling, and being able to win the World Championships while representing USA it's a feeling you can't even really explain with words. It's crazy all the work that goes into it for it to pay off like that. It's a great feeling.
Gosh, I'd have to say the '94 Goodwill Games when I actually did beat Bogiev in the finals. So it was a match that we started, and he was going after me and had the upper hand and got up by a couple points. And there was a pivotal point in the match where, if you look at the video, I actually slapped the mat and just said, like, enough's enough, and I stood up and really kind of took it to him, got him really tired, and ended up pulling out the match at the very end. So that was a great comeback win for me.
The semifinal match of the Olympics where I won, I remember we were in Atlanta, and I don't know how big the arena was, but it felt like the arena was shaking. It was just so loud, and people were chanting USA, and I was pretty excited. I knew I at least won a medal, and I'd hopefully try to get the gold. I ended up with the silver, but that match sticks in my head.
There's a lot of them that go through. Mentioned before, one of the biggest matches that stay in my mind was the Kendall Cross Brands match for the '96 Olympic trials. Now, while I wasn't on the mat for that, I was a judge. It still was one of those matches that just stuck in my mind as one of the greatest that I've been with. And then, of course, a lot of the different ones internationally. I've had different ones where I've had 2 Olympic champions on the mat at once. So that's exciting, and the fact that there's probably about 15 gold medal winners from the United States that I have had the opportunity to officiate on the mat. So they're all great memories.
I'm getting up there, and so I've got, even though I forget things, I've got so many great memories. I was jokingly last night saying, well, we never forget our defeats, it seems, but there have been so many, good things. The honor to be elected captain of the Michigan wrestling team, something I never thought would happen. Growing up in Ann Arbor, that meant an awful lot to me, wrestling at Michigan. That's certainly something that really has always been with me. I've had some championships here and there, but some of the great teammates and people that I've been able to get to know from, my coaches, Rick Bay at Michigan, and while I was there, I got a chance to meet Cliff Keen, the great Cliff Keen, icon, and it goes on from there. Some of the people that I'm even coming into this class of 2019, Townsend Saunders, his wife, Tricia, a Hall of Famer. I coached her in Ann Arbor when I was, an education student. My senior year, I inherited that from another teammate, Billy Davids, and passed it on to Mark Johnson. But we coached, Zeke Jones and Tricia Saunders. That's a great biography to have, to say you coached those great ones. But they were youngsters. I mean, so many great people. Steve Frazier, Momir Petkovich, they coached my son Jacob, and we've become great friends over the years. Just so many people. There are also some people that have gotten this award that I'm close to. Dr. Bernie Feldman, a colleague of mine, Olympic doctor, great doctor for all of wrestling around the world. I'd count him as a friend. Sandy Stevens, the voice of wrestling, another great person from Illinois. Mark King has always been my mentor. He was the captain of Michigan when I came in as a freshman. I followed him when he said to the AD, hey, bring this Curby guy, he graduated. I want him to be an assistant coach for me. So I moved to LaGrange, Illinois, Lyons Township High School, and I've been there. I've been in LaGrange ever since, where I've met my wife and raised a great family, and through all this time been involved in wrestling. And now finally, memories. I've been able to become a member of the UWW Scientific Commission, and that's afforded me a lot of travel. and associations with a lot of great people around the world, some great scientists, wrestling people, Dr. Harold Tuneman, Dr. Mirzai from Iran, my great friend from Greece, Dr. Yanis Barbas. We sort of helped form my organization that I work with on a daily basis now, the International Network of Wrestling Researchers. And from that, I get friends all over the world. So all these feelings are something that have come to me through wrestling and great associations with great people. And I truly treasure all of that.
Everything's a good memory about wrestling. I mean, the fact that I had the opportunity to do this activity that I actually loved. I know for a fact that not everyone loves to practice wrestling. I loved competing because it required you to get into your own personal zone, and that the sport itself is so personal. And I felt like me in this zone, we had a great relationship because I felt like I could turn on when I needed to turn on. And I also felt like even if you beat me, I was going to get you the next time. And I felt like I should win every time I took the mat. And to me, that was special. I know that all kids and all wrestlers don't feel that way. I felt like I could win every single time, and I should win every single time. And I felt like that was a great advantage to me. It didn't always work out that way, but that's just how I felt.
Well, I had a couple of them this year. Just at some of the dual meets and some of the contests and nationals, and just watching the sport just excites me. I mean, I can watch wrestling all day long. There's not a day goes by that I don't think about wrestling. It's just part of my life. People can say, well, you're so narrow. And yeah, I'm narrow, and I'm glad I am. Because I really do appreciate the sport. I appreciate the young men that are coaching it, the young men that are doing it, and the young women. And it's great. It's just a great thing as far as getting you into society and getting you ready for being a contributor instead of a complainer.
My fondest memory is that I never had wrestled until I got to college. And they were recruiting in 1964 at Olivet College. I was an 18-year-old freshman. And they're coming around, and they came back to me 4 times. 4 times, and I finally said, you know, I'm a basketball player. Didn't even have wrestling in my high school. Matter of fact, I had never seen a college or a high school wrestling match. Well, you gonna play basketball? And I said, no, look how short I am. I can't play college basketball. I was an outstanding high school player, but I was at a small school, but I could never make the team here. Well, then come on out for wrestling. I said, all right, I'll try it. So what they've never let me forget, remember, I've never seen a wrestling match before. The first day of practice on Monday, I walked into the room and I looked around. I said, where's the ropes? I've seen this on TV, and there's supposed to be ropes.
I think about my brothers. I think about the friendships, but most importantly, so I went to West Point with my brother. We were a year apart. We were each other's, we were wrestling buddies. We were only 1 weight class apart. So we were best friends. We were wrestling buddies. We were each other's mutual support when West Point got heavy, hard, and needed kind of either support or shoulders to cry on or just somebody to lift you up. So I had that in my brother, and so I have really fond memories of that. And then my younger brother, who's with me here this weekend, just memories of us coming together. We would usually kneel before we got out onto the wrestling mat, but we'd do it together before he went out, before I went out, before my other brother went out. So really fond memories that that have kind of been the foundation for me throughout my life.
My favorite memory would probably be the Youth Olympics this past October. We were down in Argentina for 2 weeks, and it was just a great experience. It was by far my favorite trip I've ever been on. And the wrestling was really cool, but besides the wrestling, we got to do a lot of stuff and be around a lot of other athletes from all over the world. So it was really cool.